Good Tuesday afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner, Lauren Coleman, and Jalen Gilkey, and meteorologist Christian Morgan are all here.
Yep, make sure you head over to our Facebook page and come join us on the live stream where you can chat with us during the show.
We can't wait to see you there. Meanwhile, we have a lot of news to get to. Let's take a look at the biggest stories across our state today. Prosecutors in the Andrew Brown Jr. case showed body camera footage of last month's deadly deputy-involved shooting. The county district attorney says the deputy's use of deadly force was justified. He says the video proves that Brown was driving his car toward deputies and put them at risk before they opened fire. No charges will be filed against the deputies involved. Brown was killed outside of his house in Elizabeth City last month by deputies serving warrants on felony drug charges. Despite the prosecution's ruling, Brown's family says his death was an execution.
My father did not deserve to die at all. He did not deserve to get killed. In any way, shape, or form, he did not pose any threat.
The officers who used deadly force on Andrew Brown Jr. did so reasonably and only when a violent felon used a deadly weapon to place their lives in danger.
Brown's family released a statement in response to the district attorney's announcement. It says in part, to say this shooting was justified despite the known facts is both an insult and a slap in the face to Andrew's family.
And North Carolina makes progress on clearing the backlog of untested rape kits, but there's still a long way to go. State Attorney General Josh Stein said today, out of the over 16,000 kits, 3,000 have been tested so far. Stein also said just over 5,400 kits in the backlog are in the process of being tested right now. The North Carolina Department of Justice is requesting $9 million from the General Assembly to continue clearing the backlog and hire more scientists to help keep up with the demand.
Let's turn now to your headlines in the 4 to 5 roundup. The Biden administration says COVID-19 infections are down in all 50 states for the first time since the pandemic began. Nationwide new cases are down 87% since January, and deaths are down 82%. With cases down and vaccinations up, many cities and states are looking at the CDC guidance issued last week and moving to withdraw their mask mandates for vaccinated people, of course, including North Carolina. But uneven mask policies across the country are starting to lead to confusion. Even if the city or state lifts a mandate, remember, private businesses can still require masks if they want. You have another chance to apply for the North Carolina HOPE Emergency Rent and Utility Help Program. This is for very low-income renters who are having trouble paying because of the pandemic. Very low income is defined as earning less than or equal to 50% of the area median income for the county you live in. If you already got help in the first phase of the program, you can apply again. Find out more at hope.nc.gov, or you can dial the number right there on your screen. It is 888-927-5467. That phone line is open from 8 until 5, Monday through Friday. If you have a young driver who could not get a license last year because of the pandemic, they could be catching a break soon. The state Senate agreed to cut the amount of time drivers need to hold a learner's permit before they get a license to drive unsupervised. Instead of 1 year, it is now 6 months. The shorter window would only last through the end of this year. That bill is now making its way to Governor Roy Cooper's desk. And Triad, your favorite events will return this year. Both the Fun 4th Festival in Greensboro and the Barbecue Festival in Lexington are going to happen this year with safety measures. They were canceled last year because of the pandemic, and this year's festivals will look different. Fun 4th will be on Saturday, July 3rd. The Lexington Barbecue Festival is scheduled for Saturday, October 23rd.
Well, we don't have a lot of it, but we do have at least a little bit of sunshine peeking out across the Triad this afternoon, at least more than we had yesterday. And while it's still mostly a gray day of weather, it's a little bit brighter. You can tell that the clouds are starting to thin out slowly but surely, and we'll get some more sunshine in here as we go into your Wednesday. Here's a look over the Triad right now. Greensboro, Winston, High Point, and Burlington all sitting under clouds, but a little bit of sunshine trying to find its way through those clouds. Pretty warm though. We're in the low and mid 70s, 73 in Greensboro, 75 in Winston-Salem, 76 in High Point. Asheboro, you're still having trouble with your reporting station there at the airport, but as soon as that gets fixed, we'll have your temperature and your data back on the map. Of course, not too much to look at on the radar. There there are just a few showers and a couple thunderstorms just over the North Carolina-Virginia border to our northwest. Those are kind of fizzling out, though, as we've gone throughout the last several minutes. So I expect us to stay pretty dry as we go throughout the rest of the evening. On a wider view, bigger weather system out to our west in the middle part of the country. Actually has been some severe weather in parts of Texas, not only yesterday evening, but also today as well. Don't expect that to impact us at all here in the Triad. That system kind of fizzles out before it gets here. Going into your Wednesday, though, we have a much better day of weather. There will be more sunshine to go around. We'll be a little bit warmer, too. We'll climb up into the upper 70s to near 80 for your Wednesday afternoon, all the while staying dry. And that will be day one of a big deal warm up that is on the way. Really starting to feel like summer as we go into the weekend. This high pressure system is going to really lock in and take control. We're going to be close to 90 degrees as we go into the weekend. Get ready. It's going to feel like summertime. I'll have your full 7-day forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Christian. For Grimsley Senior High School, this past spring football season was one for the history books, and the Whirlies captured their first football state championship in 61 years. But for one senior, this is the beginning of his journey. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey has more.
For Lawson Albright, winning a state championship was just the icing on the cake of a season of many doubted would happen. But now, what Lawson is most excited about is what his future will be like on and off the field.
We had a really good brotherhood and a really good bond between our coaches and our players, and I just think, you know, I'll always remember Grimsley football and just how special it was to me.
2021 is a special year for Grimsley senior Lawson Albright in more ways than one.
I think maybe in 10 years I'll look back and I'll realize how crazy it was and how cool it was.
Not only did the Whirlies win their first state title in 61 years, but in the fall, Lawson will be attending Northwestern University on a football scholarship.
I definitely expected it to be a little challenging, but that's what I mean, I know that coming in. I know, like, if you attack class and, you know, all your classwork like you do on the practice field, then you'll be fine, you'll get it done.
Lawson is way more than the number 2 ranked tight end in the state. He also boasts a 4.54 weighted GPA.
I think I'm a little better at math and science than I am at, like, reading and history, just because I enjoy that stuff more, but yeah.
However, Albright is still undecided on a major, but he's got a good idea what he might want to try.
Yeah, I mean, might try a computer science major, but I mean, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Whatever you do, don't pick journalism.
Okay.
Jalen.
Did you tell him?
But in all seriousness, Lawson's a great kid, doing great things on and off the field. He also wanted me to mention he was able to do something his former NFL All-Pro father, Ethan Albright, couldn't do at Grimsley, and that's bring a state title back to Greensboro.
So he wanted to dig at his dad a little bit when he got some airtime today.
It's only right.
And he would make a great journalist. So
Yeah.
in case you're interested,
Listen.
talk to us. Don't talk to Jalen.
He's a money guy, so.
You know, I'll say in that same regard too, Jalen, I kind of feel like there's this pressure that's been put on students now to, as soon as they graduate, know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And if you don't have it all figured out yet, that is totally okay. There's still plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time, but it's great that he has such a great work ethic. He said he treats class like he treats his game on the football field, and a 4.5 weighted GPA.
That's crazy.
That is impressive. And
Jalen,
Jalen, you were saying he plays more sports too?
Well, he did. Before this year, he was a 3-sport athlete. Well, he played basketball his first couple years and then baseball his last couple years as well. But this year he wasn't able to play due to COVID. He focused all on football because he knew he and his guys were on to something special.
Yeah, and you know, to get a GPA above 4.0, it means you have to be in college level classes, AP classes, or something similar. So he definitely had a busy school schedule, academic schedule, in addition to all the sports. So very impressive stuff.
Absolutely. Northwestern, I mean, one of the most prestigious universities in the country, and they got a great talent coming. So congratulations to Lawson and the Grimsley Whirlies again.
It's awesome.
We'll end on a positive note for this first part of the 4 to 5. We are heading to Facebook to chat with you. Come on down. We'd love to have you.
It's a good time. Hey, David.
Are you just going to stand still?
I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
Facebook.
But like
Today,
if you work average and other stuff, you get paid way better.
I
feel you on
started
that.
the show. Our producer Matt said 30 seconds out, and I realized my shoes were on the wrong feet. They still are, but we're gonna.
I thought we were gonna fix that before.
I
we
haven't
mentioned
fixed it yet. I just my first break.
Yeah,
but
Brad, can we get a zoom in on the wrong
I did.
foot?
Yeah, I don't like when he zooms in on me.
Okay, sorry, never mind. Don't zoom in on the wrong feet.
It's very
action.
subtle. It's very subtle, though.
I think it's because the shoes are black.
What, Matt? You're gonna do what? You're gonna do something against my wishes?
All right.
Okay. Well, I just wanted y'all to see, and then I'm gonna go switch them behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
It takes a little TLC with my toe situation. I'm milking it.
You're like a toddler that dressed herself for the first time today.
Truly am.
Let's put my shoes on any foot possible.
Well, the left and the right is still a little bit much for me. But in my defense, I was putting them on very last minute. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
It's NCHOPE Park.
What now?
Never mind.
I ain't no help. I'm sorry.
I was like, now what? I'm back, everyone. Shoes on the right feet, feeling fancy.
Oh my goodness.
Feeling free.
Feeling accurate.
Did
that actually hurt
though? It was actually kind of comfortable because the big part was on the baby toe, which we know is cracked currently.
Oh, Jay Eanes with another zinger.
Jay,
I pulled a muscle digging for gold. No worries. It's just a minor injury.
Oh, I get it. Donna's still stealing your jokes, Jay.
Yeah, she stole another one today in the meeting.
That was a good one this morning.
She
though.
loved
The
it.
one about the Blockbuster card.
Yeah, it was. Teens and young adults looking for a summer job have a chance to learn about different career opportunities in the Triad, all while having some fun and maybe breaking a sweat. It's all a part of the first annual Blackgate City Kickball Extravaganza, a two-day teen kickball tournament that will also act as a summer job fair. The tournament will be this Saturday and Sunday at NCHOPE Park. The event is hosted by Punch for Pound Kids. It's a program that provides youth mentorship through the art of boxing. So right now you're looking at pictures of past events put on by the organization. Program coordinator Stephen Matthews tells me the kickball tournament is in support of the city of Greensboro's effort to employ 500 teens for summer jobs.
We're excited about the opportunity to empower our community. We're also excited about the opportunity to employ our community. Our motto is to generate and create.
Several businesses and organizations, including NC Works, Greensboro Police Department, and the Makersboro USA Technology Tailgate Bus will be on hand with resources and job information. Organizers say the event will also promote Punch for Pound Kids' free summer camp as a 2-week rotating camp for Greensboro housing sites that will offer apprenticeship programs. Event partner Cedric Parker says it's imperative children have access to these resources.
These things, I think, change lives. Exposing someone to these critical resources at an early age, I think, puts them on a path to success.
So again, this kickball tournament is this Saturday and Sunday at NCHOPE Park. You can sign up in advance online, or you can sign up in person at the actual event. The tournament goes from 11 to 4 on both of those days.
I was pretty good at kickball, not gonna lie.
Probably
I was much better at kickball than I was at dodgeball.
Probably not this week though, huh?
No, not
Oh,
this
yeah,
week.
'cause you got
not this week with my injury. But this
couple
is really
injuries.
important, especially the job market the way that it is. So many companies need people to fill these open positions. So I'm glad that they're getting the word out about this.
Yeah. And I think this is a really fun way to engage the community, get them to come out and have some fun, but also give them some useful resources as well. Mr. Matthews was really excited about the Makersboro bus that's going to be there. So he was explaining to me it's like a technology tailgating bus. So they'll have information on manufacturing jobs. Kids can learn about how to make prosthetic legs and different things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a fun way to do that too. I got really ambitious a couple years ago and joined a rec league kickball team here in Greensboro. Forgot how uncoordinated I am with my feet. That does
Really?
not go well. Yeah, I can play drums with my feet, but when it comes to kicking a ball, and I forget it.
Well, I just I'm just excited that these teams are able to get an opportunity to where they can be exposed to job opportunities in our area, because a lot of folks might not even know of all of the opportunities, especially teenagers that are out here in our area. So I'm glad that Mr. Matthews and Makersboro and all of the other partners are coming together to provide this kind of summit and allow the teens to be exposed to what's out here.
Yeah, you can kind of think of it a little bit kind of like an icebreaker in a way. I know it's kind of, it can be a little daunting to try and network and try to find those jobs. So this is kind of a little nice little icebreaker to kind of get them talking. You can meet people that way.
Exactly, especially for teens, right? Teens always need an incentive to come out and, you know, be a little bit more motivated.
That's right.
Our teenage reporters back here, they know about the teens, the youngsters.
They do.
Yeah, I'm hip and cool, you know.
Gotcha.
When?
But also, I want to point out, it is a teen kickball event, but there's also some opportunities for young adults as well, and we have all those details on our website.
Do we qualify as young adults?
Might even see Jalen.
That might be our bracket there, our age range.
I think so. I like to say I'm young.
Let's get the recruit in the newsroom.
We'll go with that. But are we geriatric millennials now?
Yeah.
Spider-Man? Wasn't there Batman?
Batman?
Did you mind one?
Do it all the. Come on, man.
The Spider-Man, I
Crank
remember, was
that,
like,
crank that yank.
oh, crank that Batman. Did you?
All of those, man.
I
had them
just
all
was
on
in
my
middle school.
iPod.
I don't
Let's go.
remember
I was in high
any
school
of
when
them
this
now,
came out.
though. I just remember the Soldier Boy, like
And I
Superman.
And y'all didn't know, y'all don't know this probably, but I was living in Atlanta during that time, so like I was really, like we was really in it. Like it was,
really?
Like we were immersed in it. It
in
was,
the cranks.
it was like a thing. It was unbelievable.
I still
I
pull
want
that out
to
on
hit
the
one
dance
right
floor.
now.
I ain't got nothing for you. I'm old. We're the geriatric millennials.
Geriatric millennials.
We might be.
Yeah,
You're kind
not.
of like still on me.
You might be Gen Z.
You're like a baby
I don't say that
millennial.
in a bad way.
Nah, fam.
You're a baby millennial.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
You know what? I think I want to do a 2 cents about like generational respect.
Yeah, have some respect for us on the millennial end. No?
Well,
Is that
and
not
for
what you were
Gen
going
Zs.
for? Nah, we not. I don't know about
Our
all that.
producer just told us we sounded like we were 80 years old. I wish I was 80
Well, yeah,
years
if you
old.
want to zoom in on
What's
some
happening?
shoes, zoom in on these.
Are they on the right feet?
Yeah, they are on the right
Are those
feet.
blue suede shoes?
Blue suede.
You trying to be
Shout out my boy Elvis.
from Lauren's former home, Memphis?
Come on now.
Rockin' and
Y'all
Memphis.
see, you got the lime green trim. You really can't see that, Brad. Your camera need to step up a little bit.
Yeah, we need to turn up that vibrant C.
That's lime green.
All right,
my
you're
fault,
in our
wrong
camera
way.
shot,
There we go.
Bye, Jalen. Stay right there, though.
See you, ladies.
Coach Lamont's coming up next.
Oh, I'm not in this one, I don't think.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Are there ever times in your life that you may feel all alone and that you really don't have a lot to contribute?
Well, today on U Day, Coach Lamont reminds us we all have something special the world needs, and you're part of what we all need.
A little wave was bobbing along in the ocean. He was enjoying the wind and the fresh air as it traveled until he noticed that all the other waves in front of him were crashing against the shore. Oh my God, this is terrible, the wave thought. Look at what is happening to all the other waves, and I'll have the same fate. As fear set in, and in a state of panic, another wave came across and asked the little wave, "Why are you so distressed?" The little wave said, "We are all going to crash against the shore and face our end. All of us waves, we're all going to die. Isn't it terrible?" The second wave answered with a smile, "No, you don't understand. You're not just a wave, you are a part of the ocean. There is no need to fear. You are not alone. You are a part of something greater." This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, weather-wise across the triad, clouds hanging tough as we go throughout your Tuesday afternoon, although it is a little bit brighter of a day, even though it's still kind of on the gray side of things. That sun is trying so hard to peek out from around those clouds, and eventually the sun will win out as we go into this evening, and especially on into your Wednesday as well. First though, take a look at this time lapse over the Triad right now. Greensboro, Winston, High Point, Burlington, all so far today. I've seen a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, but really the clouds have pretty much set the mood and told the story today. But down to the south, not as much cloud cover, and especially in the extreme northeastern corner of North Carolina, they've had more sun. The clouds still hanging pretty tough with a little upper level disturbance that's been moving by and moving into the Piedmont as we've gone throughout the day. Now, if we take a look back at the last week, our temperatures have been running well below normal. Even last Wednesday, about 20 degrees below normal. But we're about to flip the cards on that, and it's going to start tomorrow with a big deal warm up on the way. For today, we're still in the low and mid 70s, 73 in Greensboro, 75 over in Winston-Salem, 76 in High Point, upper 70s as you go further to the south in places like Troy and across Montgomery County as well. Of course, looking at the radar, not too much going on. There are just a few showers and thunderstorms just over the North Carolina-Virginia border, but these are really starting to fizzle out and have been over the last several minutes, so I don't expect us to get any of that rain action today. Back out over the middle part of the country, several showers and thunderstorms. Really, there's no weather system to speak of. It's just hot and humid out there, and it makes it a lot easier for showers and thunderstorms to form. For us, high pressure in control of our weather will continue to take more control as we go into the next week, and it really doesn't move a lot. High pressure is going to stay in place, and that will turn our winds out of the south and out of the southwest. And if you keep in that pattern for several days on end, little by little, you start to get just a little bit warmer each and every day, and that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be near 80 tomorrow, mid 80s later in the week, and then upper 80s close to 90 as we get into the weekend. As far as rainfall goes, honestly, we could use some decent rainfall, but measurable rainfall is really going to be hard to come by, at least over the next 6 or 7 days, which means this time of the year it's a lot easier to dry things out pretty quickly. So we may even move into low-end drought conditions by the end of this week for our part of the state here. For tonight, partly cloudy skies. They'll continue to clear going into your Wednesday. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-50s for us here in the Triad, and then generally low and mid-50s back to the west and in the foothill and mountain communities as well. Are you ready? The warm-up starts on your Wednesday. There is more sunshine. Partly cloudy skies will warm things up to near 80 degrees for your Wednesday afternoon, and it's off to the races after that. Staying dry for several more days to come. Really no rain chances over the next 7 days. We'll be in the mid and upper 80s for Thursday and Friday. Check out Saturday and Sunday. Upper 80s close to 90. Get the sunscreen out. The sun will be in full force and it will be hot. But the difference this time, typically when we have a system like this, you think about it being hot and humid. Humidity, really not going to be a problem over the weekend. It's just going to be hot. Easily our hottest stretch of weather so far. That warmer weather hangs tough as we go into next week. And that's your forecast. Your 4 to 5 is coming right back.
Hi. Hello.
Cello.
It's me.
Y'all, I need a nap.
Me and you both.
I need me a nap.
Collective nap.
Yeah.
Again, Lauren and I both agree, not to speak for you, Lauren, but that we're just dragging day 2.
Yeah.
It's Monday's twin sister today.
How many times did you hear me yawn today? Or stretch?
And how many times did I say, Lauren, I need help?
Yeah.
We sit next to each other in the newsroom.
I heard you singing all the way across the
Yeah,
newsroom, Lauren.
she was singing today.
Always humming something.
Nah, you was full blown singing.
Really?
Yeah,
I must have been out of it because I don't remember.
We are doing a story soon. Brian Bennett did a story today about Emerald Point, Wet and Wild, and I was telling people on Twitter that I am always afraid of the water slides. Jalen, I know you're an Emerald Point fan.
Big Emerald Point guy.
That's some
over here.
stories, right?
Great time.
But I was afraid of the water slides, and I wouldn't go in the water. Still don't like to without goggles.
I haven't been to a water park in years.
Yeah, I got to get my Emerald Point physique back. I'm not quite. I'm more a quarantine physique right now.
And that's okay.
It is. It's
That's
fine.
okay.
It's fine, but you know.
Most people probably are in the same.
Yeah, but you know,
sure.
I understand that. But I can only control what I can control, and I ain't controlling this.
Dun 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 dun.
Do you want to stand up for this one?
Who are you talking about, Brad?
Stand up.
Like closer?
Oh, I was like, yeah, I'll stand up. I'll stand up in a minute. I'm just gonna let you get a head start.
Well, I'm willing to bet most people wouldn't even think about diving into a shark tank to get up and close to the dangerous ocean animal. And I'm sure even less people would consider free diving near the animal, but that's exactly what one diver decided to do. Captain John Moore was off the coast of Jupiter, Florida, when all of a sudden he was face to face with a massive female bull shark. I mean, take a look at that. Just look how close the shark was to his camera. And to make things worse, bull sharks are typically some of the most aggressive sharks. Females can grow to 11 feet or more and usually weigh between 200 and 500 pounds.
He was so tiny.
He
compared
was.
to, did you see that?
He looked like a little goldfish next to that shark.
Now, I have scuba dived before, and I have been around nurse sharks. But if a bull shark came close to me, I just give up right there. I wouldn't try to swim away. Nope. I wouldn't try to do anything. I just give up. I just take out the respirator and say it was nice.
Wow, you gonna pull the plug?
I'm done with that. I can't.
I wouldn't have been in there, so.
You know, I always wanted to go like swimming with sharks in one of those cages. I would never do like a free dive with. Well, I mean, I guess I would be interested in doing scuba diving, and you know, you never know what you're gonna come across in the ocean, but never would I intentionally free dive with any type of shark.
So with the free diving, this isn't an organized thing, so he wasn't with like a group of people?
Oh, I'm sure he was with a group. I mean, there were multiple people in that picture. It just means he wasn't in like the cage.
Right.
So the sharks can't like actually nab him.
Look, I'm a thrill seeker. I like heights. I got to draw the line somewhere, and I am not freeform swimming with a shark. I know it's their home and they were there first, but I used to really like getting in the ocean at the beach. Nope, I'm gonna stay on the sand.
Yeah, I'm with Christian. I like the adventures, the hiking, the going up mountains and everything. I've gone snorkeling before.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's more my speed.
Still, if you see a shark,
let him take the pictures and let us look at them. I'm just fine with that.
Yeah, just give me the cage. I'm with it. Just give me the cage.
I'll leave all that to National Geographic.
That's right.
I'm gonna stay in the sand. That's all.
All right, come chat with us on Facebook.
Maddie got the last word on that.
Do you disagree? I think we're all in agreement. We're staying away from the shark.
Let's definitely stay in the sand.
Disagree.
Stay in the sand, enjoy the rays.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination.
That would be traumatizing.
Absolutely.
But like I
do
said,
that.
I wouldn't have been in there.
Uh-oh.
So I went
Jay
twice.
Eames, back again. Breaking.
He's been back.
Breaking. I tried to skip the line at the water park, but I got caught.
They wouldn't let it slide.
Come on now.
When I did scuba, I saw like turtles and fish, and that was all really, really cool. I was scared of the eels.
Oh.
I snorkeled one time. It was
I've
really
only
fun.
been, snorkeling before. I've done it twice.
Yeah, snorkeling's cool. But when you get down there,
into the water.
Yeah, you don't realize like how deep you're going.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
the
you
ocean.
realize you're
It's
like, oh
insane.
gosh, I'm going to die down here.
I'm in the ocean.
So I've done it twice, but I truly don't have a desire to do it again.
Oh. Well, I want to try it
I'm
at least
certified.
once.
I'm certified.
I would like
I'll
to
teach you.
I would like to be. I probably need another teacher.
You know, honestly, the worst part is in training when you have to take your mask off and your respirator out underwater and then put it all back on and clear the water so you can see again. That stressed me out the most.
Yeah. So I went snorkeling one time, and it was so funny. We were in the Bahamas with my parents, and they didn't want to do it, so I had to go out there by myself with the instructor. And so I was out there. It was fun though. I had a great time. My parents were standing on the boat like, looking. They were just like, what is wrong with you?
You loved it. You loved to
was
swim.
Wonderful.
My sister and her husband were in Mexico and they snorkeled. They got so sunburned on their backs because they were face down in the water all day and they got burnt.
You know, I'm not a big sunburn guy.
Safety first.
Not a big sunburn guy.
I don't think I've ever had sunburn.
I had sunburn one time. I remember I was at football camp and I got it on my face.
Oh.
And I didn't realize until I came home. So it was like a 3-day weekend camp, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Came home Monday morning. Like I went swimming.
Hurts.
And I was like,
I gotta be back here.
My face hurts. And my mom was like, you're peeling.
Ooh.
Oh no. Good afternoon and welcome back to your 4 to 5, the last half hour of the show. I'm Addie Gardner here with Lauren Coleman, Jalen Gilkey, and Christian Morgan.
Good afternoon. We're having a lot of fun here on the 4 to 5, also having some fun on our Facebook page, so make sure you come join us on the live stream.
Yes, absolutely. And while you head over, we're going to catch you up at some of the biggest stories in our area today. Let's get to it with your 4 to 5 roundup. The district attorney of Pasquotank County, Andrew Womble, says the use of deadly force was justified in the death of Andrew Brown Jr. on April 21st. Womble says the deputies who killed Brown were acting in defense. The DA says deputies didn't start shooting until after Brown tried to drive away and didn't listen when officers told him to stop. Womble says Brown drove at deputies and called his car a deadly weapon. A hedge fund wants to split Duke Energy into 3 companies, and they say it would be more profitable and efficient in smaller parts. But North Carolina lawmakers are worried about a private investment firm being in control. State leaders think the move would put jobs in jeopardy, especially in Charlotte. The Utilities Commission would have to approve the change, and 7 members of that commission and Governor Roy Cooper have already come out against the split. A glitch in North Carolina's new unemployment system kept more than a dozen people from getting their benefits. The problem seemed to occur 2 weeks ago when a group tried to verify their unemployment status. They were told they'd have to do that through a third-party system in order to get their benefits, but the state says they never received the data from the third-party company. The ES now says the problem is fixed, and the company says they're improving their system. And listen to this. Researchers at Duke University are busy making vaccines for the next pandemic. Prompted by what we all went through with COVID-19, doctors are working on what's called a pan-coronavirus vaccine. It's one that could target a subset of viruses that are known to have caused outbreaks before, including this one. SARS in 2003 and MERS in 2011 were both coronaviruses, so researchers say we can expect there will be others. The vaccine triggers your system to make antibodies through what's called a nanoparticle.
And we have another great update to our coronavirus data. This graph shows the daily number of new cases over the past couple of months. The state says it's learned of 622 new cases in the past 24 hours. So it's a low number we haven't seen in a very long time. And this graph shows the pandemic as a whole. We had to go back all the way to August 17th of last year to find a number this low. At our peak in early January, the state was adding more than 10,000 cases every day. Lately, most of our days have been below 1,000.
That is good news. Well, the pandemic probably led a lot of us to pick up some new bad habits, and that includes kids as well. Between spending more time at home and doing more schoolwork online, kids are spending a lot of time in front of screens. But experts say now might be a good time to wind all of that down. Let's connect the dots.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. Screen time for kids has gone way up during the pandemic. But now, with lockdowns slowly lifting, experts say now is the good time to make some changes. Let's connect the dots. One of the many side effects of COVID-19 is children have had more screen time, whether it's because of online learning or parents needing to distract kids while working from home. Researchers say screen time increased 50%. And while we would love to think those kids were only using devices for educational purposes, That same research showed sites like YouTube and the gaming platform Roblox saw the biggest spikes in usage. Experts warn that the effects from this change will continue much longer for kids than it would for adults. That means there won't be as stark of a difference between their online and offline worlds, since kids have now learned to go online for everything from socializing to schoolwork. Screens have become a major part of their identity. So what can you do? Child behavior experts say now is the time to start weaning kids off the screens and reintroducing them to limits. But you can't just take the screen away, you have to replace it with something else. That means finding activities you feel comfortable doing with your child, going to a zoo, a park, something active that will engage them. And that could be good for the whole family.
And we have a lot of places here in the Triad that you can go and take the kids. But, you know, when I was speaking to parents throughout the pandemic, they said, yes, screen time has increased, but also the kids are so ready to be done with it, or at least they were by the end of the school day, that they were trying to get outside when it was nice and kind of put the screens away. So maybe if you just transition like that through the summer, it will decrease that screen time.
I used to always just really enjoy being outside, but of course, I guess when I was a small child, we didn't have all the, you know, new pieces of technology that we do now. And it was funny, I was actually talking to a friend of mine, one of our band members, over the weekend, and they were saying that their kids were actually mad at them because they haven't been able to get a phone or a new tablet or anything like that. And they said, you know, go play outside. You've been stuck inside, you've been online learning forever, now go outside and do that. So this is really cool to see the new ways that people are trying to replace some of that dependence on technology and get outside.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lauren.
All right. I read a Wall Street Journal article that was similar to this, and they were saying one of the ways you can like get your kids off of the technology is maybe like no phones at the dinner table, no phones in the car, or iPads and different things like that, and just focus on conversation. So slowly but surely they'll be used to not having to be all in their phone the whole time.
Smart.
And I think the most interesting part of this whole last year is the effects that it's going to have on children, I would say, like 2 to 5, you know, the before school age, because, you know, most of them weren't able to get any type of social interaction with other children. So it's just trying to see with that limited amount of social interaction, how is that going to kind of impact development going forward?
Yeah, silver lining though, this will be the most technologically literate generation of our time. I mean, my nieces aren't even 1 year old yet, and when I FaceTime my sister, they know how to grab the phone.
Oh, they immediately know on FaceTime.
I mean, it's just because they love me, right?
Aww.
Absolutely.
Is that what it is?
I'm sure that's
They can sense it. They can sense the love on the phone.
That's what it is.
You know, one thing, it sounds crazy, but one thing that made a difference for me during the pandemic about, Lauren, you mentioned maybe putting the phone down during dinner time or during certain things. Honestly, when this pandemic started, I was so worried about how germy my phone was. I was like, I'm not going to touch that even close to when I'm going to eat. So that actually helped me out in that regard. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but.
That doesn't sound crazy.
That makes sense.
Very accurate.
You're so smart.
Like
That's why we rely on
the
you
big
for the
brain
forecast.
on Christian.
Y'all put too much pressure on me. All right, let's talk about the weather. Dry outside right now. It is a brighter day of weather than we had on Monday, but still kind of cloudy and gray. The sun, though, is working its way to peek through some of those clouds. Not too much happening on the radar, but I want to show you what's going on just to the north, to our northwest along that North Carolina-Virginia border. There's a few showers and thunderstorms. They're really starting to fizzle out and slowly drifting to the southeast, but I don't expect those to make it here to us in the Triad. On a wider view, we really just have clouds. That's the only thing that's really hindering our weather today, and you can see that evident on our Burlington weather camera. Of course, a little warmer in Burlington right now, 74 degrees over there, sitting at 73 degrees in Greensboro out at PTI right now, 75 in Winston-Salem, and there's some upper 70s down to our south. Now, of course, there's nothing magical about weather. If you wanted to get warm, you got to take that warm air and you got to bring it here from somewhere else, and that's what we're doing. Notice how we're in the 80s down to the south. That warm air is going to continue to move in as we go throughout the week. We have high pressure in control. That will really act as a heat pump to get it close to 90 as we go into the weekend. For tonight, partly cloudy skies. I expect us all to drop down into the mid-50s, so really not a cold night of weather. The big warm-up starts tomorrow. Sunshine for your Wednesday. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, and then it's off to the races after that. The heat is on as we go into the end of the week. Talk about the full 7-day forecast coming up.
Oh my goodness, I love this sound. It makes me so happy. The sound of coffee brewing. It's right up there with me with the sound of the ocean. But I understand, Maddie, that maybe there's a different sound that is better for you when it comes to coffee, and it is?
Oh, the ice. stirring it up.
Yup.
I love it. I love iced coffee, cold coffee. I drink it even when they're still on the ground.
Okay, well, that is my question. So let's look, friends. Let me show you where I'm going with this. On hot days, do you do the iced coffee thing? And on cooler days, do you do the hot coffee thing? Does weather play into your coffee choice? Christian,
Yes.
I'm bringing you in on this one to get to the science of the forecast. What happens with you?
Well, I have this 30-degree rule. So if it's above 30 degrees, it's iced coffee. If it's below 30 degrees, then it's usually hot. Sometimes I fudge on that just a little bit, especially if it's just kind of a cold and gray and gloomy day. If it's early, I'll start with the warm coffee, but I'm usually an iced coffee kind of guy.
Interesting. Okay.
No, iced coffee always. You can just chug it faster.
Okay, and I am a hot coffee all the time. It's going to be 90 degrees on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I am having the hot coffee. Okay, so here's what I want you to know about cold brew.
Cold brew coffee, as the name suggests, is brewed with cold water instead of hot water, and because of that, it has to brew for a much longer period of time. Through that long brew process, you end up with a coffee that is much less bitter, a little more rich, and smoother.
All right, so here's how you make your own cold brew. The only supplies you really need are 2 lidded jars that can hold more than 3 cups of water, a coffee filter, and a funnel, and of course your favorite coffee beans coarsely ground. You're going to want a 1/4 pound of coffee. That's roughly 1.5 cups. For every 3 cups of cold water that you put into that jar, you mix the coffee and the water up around all until the coffee is saturated, and then you let it steep for at least 12 hours in your fridge, or get this, at room temperature. Here's why.
The warm ambient air is actually better for the brew process and helps the coffee extract a wider range of flavor.
Who knew? Okay, after you're done steeping the coffee, you grab that other jar and the funnel, you put the coffee filter inside, you pour it through. You're not quite done yet because cold brew is concentrated, so you kind of have to water it down. You have to dilute it using 1:1 or 1:1.5 ratio of cold brew concentrate to the water. I put all of these steps in the 2 Wants to Know section, so check it out and happy caffeination.
Yes, sir. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 4 to 5. Wet and Wild Emerald Point. Mic check 1, 2.
J. I don't really like people with 9 toes. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, that was targeted at you, wasn't it?
Yes, it says for Maddie, 2 exclamation points.
That's funny.
To be clear, I have all of my toes.
Just one of them don't work.
We just alternate which one I'm going to break this week. It's truly what's going on. That was funny. Thank you for humoring us all. I'm glad Tanya did that coffee story. I feel like I got a little energy from it. Don't you feel that way?
Through the screen.
We're being blessed by the presence of
Brian
a legend.
Bennett.
Ooh.
Brian
It
Bennett's
is
here.
Brian Bennett. You know what that means? It's time for some good news. Brian Bennett coming through.
It's good, good news.
Goodness gracious.
Da, 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 da.
If y'all don't know,
You got a haircut.
yeah, he got that clean cut.
It looks good.
Because I looked at you, I was like, he looks different. And then today I was like, he got a haircut. That's
Jalen
what
got a
it is.
haircut too.
I did.
Oh, he got a little shape
I just
up?
had to reduce. No, I cut.
That means cut.
Yeah, I had to reduce some of this fro.
Cut.
Yeah, had to reduce.
Well, Matt, I did compliment your
Yeah,
haircut.
we did compliment your haircut, Matt.
We said you looked fresh and clean.
Oh,
Listen.
sorry. I didn't. You should have texted me. You gotta let me know when we were picking on Matt. I'm sorry.
Always. There's never a time we're not.
I will assume always from now on, Matt. Thank you. Oh boy. What you got for us today, Brian B?
Emerald Point's opening on May 29th.
Ooh.
So, you know, the anticipation is brewing.
It's building.
The anticipation.
If y'all don't know, Brian B is highly musically inclined.
Oh yes, very talented.
That's what I hear.
I mean,
What are you talking about,
He plays
B&D?
keyboard,
You said-
music producer.
Oh, you told me to stand at Welcome back to your 4 to 5. There are just 10 more days until we can all go here. Wet and Wild, Emerald Point, and Greensboro. They're about to open for the 2021 season, and there is more anticipation than ever before after the park had to stay closed last year for the pandemic. WFMY News 2's Brian Bennett headed out to Emerald Point today.
Preparation is underway for Wet and Wild Emerald Point's opening day. And the water park is expecting high attendance after a long time off.
We are expecting to have some type of increase due to our 2019 numbers. Obviously, we didn't open in 2020, so 2019 numbers were pretty significant, so 2021 is expected to be right up there with those numbers.
With the projected increase in attendance, employees were a must. General Manager Adam Good spoke with how they attracted more help.
This spring, we were struggling a little bit with high school recruitment there. When we increased our wages, we have seen an uptick in our application count.
Just a good place to work. Like, you have great people around you. It's like kind of and the pay.
We have a handful of employees that come in for aquatics specifically, so I just kind of watch over them, assign tasks to do. I also do a lot of the tasks, so I've painted a lot of things. We clean a lot of chairs, clean up the landscaping, do all kinds of stuff, just little finishing touches before the park opens.
Clearly, with all the preparation taking place, attendees are in for a real treat, though they still may have to wait a little while longer for one of the biggest attractions.
Coming in 2022, we do have our Bombs Away attraction. It is a free fall ride, so when you get into the actual capsule of the slide, the floor will fall out from underneath you and you'll drop 3 stories down to the bottom. Construction wasn't finished due to COVID.
All in all, Emerald Point staff can't wait to get that buzzing energy back into the water park.
Having all the seats full and all the pools full and everybody smiling and having a good time, it really creates this like buzzing energy in the park. Like the park really comes alive when it's full and everybody's in it. So I'm really excited to have that feeling back.
Yeah, guys, and that feeling will be coming back on May 29th. Just 10 days away. So, the anticipation is right around the corner. And, just the atmosphere at the water park was just so soothing. It's not a lot of everybody in there yet. So everybody's kind of like getting in where they fit in the off season, cleaning the pools, picking up trash. So they're getting ready.
Tranquil pools instead of wave pools. I want to know if we can count on you to go back and drop 3 stories.
Yeah, about that, Maddie. We're going to have to talk about that because I don't know if I can drop 3 stories. Jalen, Lauren, Maddie,
I'm open.
Eric,
Let's make it happen.
Wherever you are.
Let's make it happen. If that's my assignment, I promise you that'll be the one for the day. I'm absolutely, like I said before, I love Emerald Point and Wet and Wild. Just a great time. Had some great times there and during school when I was in undergrad. So it's just a great nostalgic moment for me.
She mentioned about seeing the smiles on everybody's faces, and I think that really is kind of the theme that we're starting to see. Everybody's mood seems a little bit lighter. People are smiling, people are looking forward to things, and it really is just a really good, encouraging thing to see. So that makes me happy too.
Definitely an exciting time with all these different attractions opening up. I've never been to Wet and Wild, but I was looking online at the different attractions that they have, all the different slides, the soak zone, the lazy river. It just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can count me out of any water slide or any wave pool for that matter, but I will tear up a splash pad. Like, watch out, toddlers. I'm in there.
That's not for you.
You know what?
It's not for you.
Now that I think about it, guys, we have to do the right thing, and we have to send Lauren out there. She's
there
never
we
been.
go. Yeah.
Another team bonding activity.
There we go.
I'll
Can't
watch
leave me out of this
from
one.
the pool deck. Yeah. All right, we're coming right back. That makes me excited for summer, though.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those
I
bumper
got
boat
happy
things?
watching that package.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. You know, true love may sometimes seem hard to find, but for one newlywed couple, they were able to find it twice.
Yes, it's not the most traditional love story you've probably heard about, but it's sure to make you smile. Our sister station out of Dallas, Texas, has more.
If Aline and Robert Brown seem like they have that newlywed glow,
I love you.
I love you.
it's because they do. The 78-year-old and 83-year-old, respectively, are a few weeks into a marriage and months into a relationship that caught them both completely off guard.
We met over a game of chicken foot.
That's dominoes.
Yes, I know that doesn't sound very romantic, does it?
They were both new to Ridgemar Place Independent Living in Fort Worth and had each lost their longtime spouses in recent years.
Did either of you move in here thinking you were going to find love?
Not all this
no.
much.
No.
I walked her
But
to
there
her
it
room and I
was,
kept
in
on
plain
going.
sight at the chicken foot table.
I thought he was a winker. You know, there's some people who just wink at people. But after we played, you know, for a while, I realized he wasn't winking at the other people.
A couple times I might have kissed her on the forehead and then I kissed her on the cheek.
Soon, they were an item.
Well, I asked him one day where he thought this relationship was going. I said, "Are you thinking about marriage?" And he said, "Yes, I'll marry you."
Was that the proposal?
Yes.
I guess it was.
Last month, in front of family and friends, the two tied the knot.
One of my sons gave me away. Said, "Here, take her, please."
There was dancing, there was music, there was cake.
Courtney McLaughlin, who's known Aline his whole life, runs Ridgemar Place and officiated their wedding.
Lots of the world may have been locked down, but Cupid wasn't.
The bride and groom are relishing this life lesson.
Somebody out there.
That you can find love anywhere, even
Right across the chicken foot table there. Right with that wink.
She said, I thought he was a winker.
He has game.
He does.
That's exactly what I said. He's probably good at dominoes, and he's got a nice little mouthpiece on him. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore.
It's just such a cute story.
Jalen.
I love how she was like, where is this relationship going?
Yes, she was like, it's either going somewhere or it's not going anymore, is what I got from that.
Yeah,
He knew what he wanted, though.
Yeah.
He went and got it. Shout out to my guy.
It's
love
never
that
too
story.
late to fall in love.
No, I'm so happy that they're happy, and
Me
I love
too.
love. I do. All right, Christian, it's your.
All right, last check of that forecast. It's very, very low, but there is just the small chance of getting a stray shower or a couple sprinkles as we go throughout the rest of your Tuesday evening. After that, we're home free, no rain chances for the next 7 days. Sunshine will be the order, and it will be getting hot. Easily our hottest stretch of weather that we've had so far this year. We're in the mid and upper 80s Thursday and Friday. Check out what happens over the weekend. We continue on that warming streak, close to 90 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, and I actually do think we will by far hit 90 degrees, at least most of us will on Monday. And usually when we think about hot, we think about humidity. That won't be the case this time around. Just kind of that dry heat. You know, it's not the humidity, it's the heat. We're staying warm for a while after that. That's your forecast. We're coming right back.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. In today's news conference, they released.
Hello, you just caught me in the middle of playing a game of chicken foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will not mention joint pains. Sure.
Hi there, where am I starting? Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota.
The Chinese eat chicken feet. It's a strange texture, I must admit. Yeah, it's a little strange.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, there we go. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good afternoon.
It's time for my 2 cents. Last week, the CDC said fully vaccinated people don't need to wear masks in most places. The new guidance was put in place because the experts there say people with the vaccine are not likely to get or spread COVID-19. Still, some people aren't ready to take their mask off just yet, and that is okay. We need to go at our own speed. As the world reopens, there might be moments where things move faster than you're comfortable with, and you should take the time you need to get ready for those next steps. Whether it's ending the mask mandates, easing capacity limits, or throwing out social distancing, you have the power to make decisions for how to move forward. With that in mind, people who are ready to press ahead need to remember that not everybody is there yet. They need to understand that people are in different places and are dealing with the pandemic in different ways. Before you judge someone for not being where you are, consider their personal experiences. You don't know what they've been through. The same goes for people who choose to keep their masks on. Don't make a snap decision about those who are ready to go without. All of this to say, be kind to one another, mask or no mask. You know, we often jump to the worst conclusions about people when we immediately don't agree with them. Instead, what if we assume the best and try to understand where they're coming from before we made up our minds? That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Justified. That is what prosecutors in North Carolina are calling a deadly officer-involved shooting that has gained national attention.
Today, they showed body cam footage of last month's shooting death of Andrew